काफी स्लो हो गया. Okay, छोड़ो. All right, super duper happy Diwali to everybody. Happy Diwali, happy Bhai Dooj, and all other celebrations in between. Of course, I'm tuning in from London. I thought that by now the sun will be out, but it's semi-out. I was pretty sure it'll be out, but I think in the next 5 minutes it'll become nice and clear. But I'm sitting now in front of a ring light because... All right. Yeah, actually, you know what? I didn't post any pictures for Diwali because everything happened in such a hurry. Even though all the kids dressed up in Indian clothes and it was so lovely, but we had to go for a Diwali party after. We were running late for dinner. Tuck, 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 tuck. So the pictures just didn't do justice to, so I couldn't share. I said, "Pen le fir se puja, happy Diwali kar le." So yeah, that's pretty much what I wore for Diwali. Of course, Bhai Dooj today, so very, very happy Bhai Dooj to all my brothers as well as all the brothers of the world. Thank you everybody, so sweet. Today, okay, so a lot of you have been asking about these cards. It's called the Attractive Abundance Bundle. You don't have to do this yourself if you don't want to. This is just me having fun. 52 cards to help you manifest gratitude, abundance, and success. By a lady called Jane Struthers. You get many cards like this. It's not necessary you do this set of cards only. It comes with a full instruction manual, so you can use it the way you like. So today's card, let's see what it's going to be. Dun, 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 dun. I've been doing it every day with Puneet and me, and we've been enjoying pulling out cards, and it's a nice intention setting is all I call it. It doesn't mean much, but the fact that, you know what, focus on this as the universe would like your energy to be focused on. So, all right, which card should I pull? Which card should I pull? This one. All right, the card says, I don't know if you can see it, but it may be ulta for you. Peace. The key to happiness is to understand that what you feel inside is not determined by what is happening outside. Choose an inner life that is joyous, peaceful, and contented even when the circumstances are difficult. I love this card. You know, for me, if you had to ask me, one of my highest values is peace. And whenever I'm speaking about peace, a lot of people think that peace is pretending that you're fine. But actually, why people end up thinking like that is that you have to just, you know, settle yourself for this thing. A lot of times for me, peace comes from confrontation. Asking the person why you're behaving this manner, because I need to return back to peace. And, you know, having those open conversations help me. So I'm a big believer that peace is our core Kohinoor. And our job is to return back to it. And there could be one way is to accept everyone around you and everything around you, which I'm okay with. If you have the level of acceptance, if it is something you can accept, then accept. If you need to confront, then confront. If you need to remove someone from your life because your peace is more important, then remove. And I can tell you, literally, I will cycle in this rotation sometimes, because there are days when I know that I just need to sit with myself and accept whatever is happening around me, and that will bring me back to peace. Where are you? I'm in London right now. And sometimes it's confronting and sometimes it's actually removing. I know there are some specific people I've had to remove from my life. Even though I love them so much, I send them blessings through soul energy. I still feel like they're amazing people, just that our chemistry wasn't serving me. And a lot of times somebody may have served you till a certain point in your life and it may have worked out, and suddenly something may happen where now no longer your chemistry is working. Sometimes it's good to give it a break. Sometimes they go away forever. Whatever it is, know it will happen for your highest good. So I really hope today's message was meaningful for all of you, that, you know what, learning to always return back to peace. Live your life, return back to peace. Live your life, return back to peace. The job of life is to remove peace or take away your peace, because as you keep doing things in your life, something or the other will keep coming up, showing up. And I think returning back to peace is an art we all need to learn. I can't say I've perfected it, but I do believe that I try my best to live in as much peace as I can. So, yes. All right. Do tell me in the chat box what peace means for you, or what this message today is going to do, whatever you're going to do differently because of this message. Yeah? Fabulous. So let me just see who all I've missed to recognize here. Bharti saying hi, Puja. Hi. Happy Bhai Dooj, Ruchi saying happy Diwali. Senorita Anchor is saying lovely, lovely. How was your Diwali? It was very nice. I had gone for dinner to an Indian restaurant with my sons and all his friends. We really enjoyed ourselves. After which I went for a Diwali party to one of my uncle's house, client's house. He's an uncle cum client, very sweet man. So enjoyed Diwali with him. Loved it actually. It was very, very nice. It's always nice to be with family. Of course, missed my own joint family. I live in a joint family of a lot of people. My parents by chance were in Chennai. So my brother, bhabhi, parents had all gone to my house for Diwali and I wasn't there. So missed the whole larger family. Both my sister-in-laws, my mother-in-law does a beautiful job of Diwali. Like she'll decorate the house with flowers, take out her most beautiful crockery and china, make the yummiest food. So spoke to her like 5 times that day because it was just, you know, one of those days where I really miss back home. I'm not someone who would have chosen to be in London for Diwali. It just happened by chance. The tickets got done in a manner. So it's been interesting, but I think I'd rather be in India for the Indian celebrations. Fortunately, the last few days have been very interesting for India. First with Virat Kohli winning the match. That was a lovely experience sitting and watching that. Then with Rishi Sunak turning Prime Minister. So I just feel like lately India has just been so much in the buzz that even being in London, London also had a lot of the Indian buzz happening because of these two events. All right. How do you manage your calendar? Can you tell us? Honestly, you know, one of the things I've done is there's this beautiful, lovely girl called Radhika in my office, and her job is to every Sunday evening send me my entire week's calendar, to which I keep referring to. Thank God. So what I do is every time I have an appointment, I send it to her and then she adds it to my weekly calendar and sends it to me. And then the previous night of every single day, she sends me the next day's calendar. So I've pretty much outsourced my ability to handle my designing my day, because I feel like I tend to miss things very easily. So best is to, if you can, have someone else help you with it. Of course, I've seen Puneet keep it on his iPad. He has a calendar on his iPad and he keep adding reminders and to-dos. Oh my God, my son was showing me his calendar from January to now yesterday, and it was super impressive. Like, you know, the grays were all his work hours, the pinks were all the things he's done besides work, like if he'd gone for a movie, or if he's gone for golf, or if he's gone for TT, or whatever he's gone for. And then he had things in yellow, things in blue, like it was just such a complicated. He wants me also to get onto it. It's something called Notion, and he said, Mom, you should keep your calendar on this app called Notion. It's an Apple's Excel version or something like that. And he was trying to explain a lot to me, not knowing that. So the one thing that's been happening lately in the last 1 week is, as I'm spending more time with my children, I'm realizing, oh my God, there's so much to learn from them. Like yesterday, pretty much I was supposed to go shopping the whole day. However, we just decided to sit and chat, and I said, okay, we'll go by 12, we'll go by 1, we'll go by 3, we didn't go anywhere. All 3 of us were just discussing science the whole day. So yesterday I got to know what the real color of the sun is, what are the gases that the sun makes, the rotation of the earth, how the planetary system works, the galaxies, the Milky Way, the the gases that Jupiter is made out of, and the different kind of Hubble telescope. And there's a new one that has taken a much better picture, and it was just super interesting. But by the end of the day, I just felt like, you know, my brain had expanded. I mean, they made me watch a 1-hour documentary on the concept of infinity. And I was like, okay, I'm not that great with maths. It was just very interesting. So as I told them, I said, this is just too much information for me. And they were like, come on, Mom. And so I remained as interested as I could. But some parts were super interesting. Some parts just went over my head. But interesting. You know what? The nice part is when you spend time with people with different interests, your brain literally does open up. Yesterday, I really felt like they've expanded my horizons about where the world is going as far as space technology is concerned, and as far as the mathematical calculations that they were talking about. So it was very interesting. I don't know from where I went off where, but yeah, just letting you know. Somebody asked, what are you doing in London? So telling you what I'm doing in London. Clearly the whole day shopping didn't happen. Hopefully today I actually preponed my Insta live. It's normally at 4 or in the morning, so it was not working out. So I woke up at 7:30, gotten ready, and made sure I do the Insta live first thing in the morning, so that because both the kids are at home today, so I'm going to take them shopping today. Okay, let's see. Sparkling Soul Heals is saying, ma'am, how to manage studies while being pregnant and other household responsibilities? Please answer, ma'am. You know what? I feel like as you are pregnant, one of the things you have to do is honor your body. Your current absolute priority has to be the needs of your body, and your body is going to behave in different ways every morning. So you're going to have to see, today is it a lazy day, today is it a productive day, is my body asking for rest, is my body asking for food? So as you honor your body, whatever you can manage with your studies, whatever you can manage with your responsibilities, along with honoring your body, is how I would recommend you can go about your pregnancy. Because sometimes what happens is, in our pregnancy, we want to make it very agenda oriented, which I feel is great if you're able to cope. What I don't want you to do is look at other women in their pregnancy and start comparing yours. Each one's pregnancy journey is their own journey. So I highly recommend that you honor yours. Like, I remember the first 3 months for me were terrible because of the amount of nausea I had. And I had a friend who was pregnant while I was pregnant along with me, and she had zero nausea, and she was like, pregnancy is so fun. And for me, pregnancy was no fun at all. So I think not comparing is very important. Following your own routine. This is a very beautiful time to put in good things into your head. So if you can manage studies, I always say pregnancy until your child is between the age of 3 to 5, you can spend a lot of time learning. Once they go to proper school and you get that half day proper, you can then start yourself on a journey of creating your own identity and financial freedom. I think the first 5 years, from pregnancy to the child going to proper school till first grade, I think giving yourself that time to equip yourself. You know, the bamboo that grows very slowly, Chinese bamboo grows very slowly under the ground, and for 5 years you have to keep watering it without seeing any results, and it takes a lot of patience, and suddenly in 6 months it grows 60 feet or some huge size. So, you know, I think like you have to become that Chinese bamboo who keeps on studying and keeps on improving her personality, her skill set, her talents, so take it like a tortoise, a long-term journey, rather than trying too hard to get too much done every single day. More look at it as a long-term journey, like a marathon, not like a sprint. Yes, I hope some of this helps you, darling. Puja, I'm facing these issues as peace is my baseline value. Puja, the more peace is your baseline value, the more God will put tests in your life to make you expert at returning back to peace. So just become a master in your abilities to returning back to peace. Suman, my husband surprised me on my birthday by gifting me the book Unlocking the Golden Cage. I'm so happy. That is just so sweet. God bless you and your husband. I love it when men do these kind of things, which is really, really nice. So sweet of him. दिग्विजय सिंह, भाई दूज तो कल है. अच्छा, कल है. आई नो कई लोगों के लिए शायद कल है, कई लोगों के लिए आज है. इंडिया इतना बड़ा है कि यू नो फेस्टिवल्स के डेज भी बदलते रहते हैं. तो आई थिंक दिवाली अगर 24th को थी तो फिर भाई दूज 26th को होना चाहिए, नॉर्मली 2 दिन बाद. बट डिपेंड्स अगेन आप कहाँ से हो इंडिया में. Happy birthday, Suman. Absolutely. Anuradha, ma'am, how to stop comparing with husband's happiness and arguing with him? Anuradha, one of the things I have seen is that we can either go into competitiveness with our spouse, or we can start to believe he's ours. So his happiness can become your happiness if you don't compete with it. Rather, you start to match it. And I'll tell you what I mean when I say this. when we are unhappy or when we are not at our happiest level, our partner's happiness irritates us. So there used to be a time when Puneet would go to walk. Then from there he would want to go to the gym. Then from the gym he may want to go and have a drink with his friends and then come back home to me exhausted to go to sleep. And I used to feel like, आप मुझे तो प्यार ही नहीं करते, आप मेरे से कोई care ही नहीं करते, and you know everything that used to give him happiness used to irritate me. So I used to speak against everything that used to actually give him happiness. So whether it was his golf or it was his friends or if it was his whatever it was, work, I used to always feel like I'm competing with all of those things to get his attention. And then I remember shifting this mindset as, if he is not happy, how can he give me what he doesn't have? So the happier he gets, the more guilty he'll get towards me. Even if he doesn't get guilty, the more happier he gets, the more he will give me what he has, right? So making him happy and making sure he does things that give him happiness was a far better way to operate. So I started to say, you know what, baby, as much golf as you want to play, play. Come when you can. Can we go out for Wednesday dinners? Can we do this? Can we do that? So instead of saying what we can't do or what you don't do for me, I started to very specifically say, can we do this? Can we do that? And that changed a lot of our energy. So earlier on, when I'm comparing, oh, he's living such a happy, easy, nice life. Here I am sitting with all the responsibilities and the little children. That's me dividing us. What if we are one? And what if I had to operate from the energy that if he is happy, he'll keep me happy? And then I start to operate from that energy. It's a very different energy. And I do believe that one of the biggest things then I started to do was, if he's in charge of his own happiness, why am I not in charge of my own? Earlier on my birthdays, I used to wait for him to do things for me. On my anniversary, I would be waiting for him. And when he didn't land up doing something nice, I used to blame him, fight with him, do all of that. Over the years, I realized, you know what, Puja, you know specifically how you want to do your birthdays. Why don't you just do them your way? Like that, over the years, I also started to go, okay, can I do this? Can I do that? And when I started to do all of these courses and I started to spend money on myself and I started to build my relationship with him, because I started to get happy from within. I was no longer depending on him for my happiness. So the most important thing that I can tell you, Anuradha, is you're arguing with him because you want him to give you what you should be giving yourself, okay, which is your own time, creating your own identity. Come join one of my courses, sweetheart, if you haven't already. Let me help you build your personality to a level where you fall in love with you. And can I tell you, when we fall in love with us, the world starts to fall in love with us. Till the time we are beggars for attention, approval, importance, acknowledgement, we don't get it. And that's what makes us more and more desperate. And then we try harder and harder. And then one of the things we become is supremely negative, because everyone's happiness deep down just irritates us. So see if any of this helps you, my darling. Where are you now? In London. You know what's the time in London right now? Let me tell you. It's 7:50 a.m. in London, and I think it's what, 12:20 in India? Sujata's asking, so will you be seeing our true Kohinoor in London? No, Sujata. Actually, my children were very keen that I take them to one of these museums, not the one where the Kohinoor is, but to the British History Museum is where they wanted to go. I don't know if we will land up going, but no, I won't be seeing the Kohinoor this time. We have already seen it. Once you've seen it once, you've pretty much seen it. So didn't bother to go back to see it. I'm attending this session with my 9-year-old daughter. That's so sweet, Divya Thakur. Please give her lots of my love. I always say, if you start them young on this journey, it's nice, but never push them. So if she's sitting on her own and listening to me, lots of love to you, darling. But you know what? Everyone's time comes when we want to start to look for, you know, all of this. A time comes in our life where we become a seeker for this kind of wisdom. Debasmitab is saying, does peace mean forget and forgive? I always say this about peace, that peace for me, forgiveness is a decision you make. So absolutely, peace will always have forgiveness in it. Forget is something that happens naturally. We are too intelligent to forget consciously. If I every day say I must forget, I'm actually doing the reverse. I'm remembering it every day. So forget is something that happens over time when our emotional charge towards that particular person or circumstances goes away. So anything that we don't give energy to will eventually die out. So we have to get over it. We have to move on. And when we think of other things and we stop thinking of the things that have happened to us every day, reliving the pain, that's when we actually forget. So forget is something that happens to us over time. Forgive is something that is a personal decision we need to make. With bindi, you look so Indian. Yeah, actually, I didn't have a bindi, so I took my eyeliner and drew a bindi. But I felt like the look was a little incomplete without bindi. On Diwali, I forgot to put the bindi. So today, I took my eyeliner and took my kajal pencil. I drew the eyeliner से kajal pencil से, you know, जुगाड़ तो हम सबको आता ही है ना. हम तो Indian women हैं. Being with children is always fun. You're so right, Bharti. Okay, I'm going to go right to the bottom because it looks like I'm very behind. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the Jhumka compliment. Yeah, I just wore these the first time on Diwali. They're nice and... How was Rishi's PM scene at London? First Indian becoming PM in UK. I don't know what the scene is. I'm just super proud. I think it's such a, what do you call that, 360 degrees of coming around, of literally, there was a time when they ruled us, and today it's so nice to see that the most important person in their country now is, or one of the most important person in their countries is of Indian origin. I think that's a very proud place for all of us Indians to be. Currently, pretty much in the world, the largest corporates are run by Indian. Now countries are being run by Indians. So I think Indians have a lot to be proud of. You know, we are returning back in the 16th century. They say India pretty much ruled the world, and I'm so happy to see that we are coming back in time to kind of like go back to that point, you know. Radhika truly is a superstar. Oh, she is. I wouldn't know what to do without her. Gargi is asking, what's your self-care routine? I have so many routines, Gargi, so I don't know in which reference are you asking. But I think just spending a lot of time with myself is my biggest self-care routine. The most important thing that I have experienced, and especially in the last 1 year, is that the busier I'm getting, the more time I need to take out for myself. So earlier I used to run one funnel. Today I'm running 3 parallel funnels, especially the month of September, October, November till about 1st December is a lot of programs of mine run parallelly. So for me, doing self-care becomes extremely important. This could be in India, I do a lot of massages, especially foot massages is my weakness. That's one of the things I love doing for self-care. Of course, a solid morning routine. I know some of you know about savers, but if you don't know, note it down. It's a lovely concept by Hal Elrod where he speaks about start with silence in the morning, S for silence, A for affirmations, V for visualizations, E for exercise, R for reading, and S for journaling or scribing. Scribing is what he calls journaling. So savers is a lovely way to start your day. Look at how you can. Yesterday I just started my new book for 2023 where I just started to write everything that I want to achieve. So I called it Destiny by Design. And I started to just decorate the book and coloring, doing a little bit of coloring and doodling and all of that. Today I'm going to start to fill up different pages with different concepts. I'm really keen to sit down and get my entire mission vision for women in India right for 2023. So what I'm going to be working on the next 3 months is that. And for me, that is basically what's going to really bring out my self-care, because in the morning when I'm sitting in my silence, all those thoughts and ideas that keep coming to me, I keep noting and jotting them down. So that's a beautiful way to create another self-care routine that I have very solid is my skincare routine. So about a year ago, I started to, especially post-COVID, I wasn't someone who was too regular with her skincare. And I feel like when I hit 40, suddenly the skin started to lose its charm. You know, there was this brightness that used to be there, which I found that my skin became extremely dull. So I went to a dermatologist and they put me on to some quite few expensive creams. So be careful. While they've done their magic, I don't know if you want to spend that kind of money. So you'll have to be a little careful around that. Having said that, I can tell you, I just went all out and I said, you know what, I'm just going to do exactly what the doctor tells me to. And they gave me a full morning routine. There are about 6 steps to it, and then again in the evening. It doesn't take much time, doesn't take more than 15 minutes, but I've been really just enjoying every time I'm putting the cream on my face, I speak to my skin and I just go, you know what, thank you so much for your being so supple and being so soft and and I've been doing all of these crazy conversations with my skin because I really feel like it had dulled down. I don't know whether the word aged is the right word, but become very dull. So that's something that I've been really enjoying, working on my skincare routine. Anything else in self-care that comes to my mind? I think I'm very conscious about the vocabulary that I use. So another thing that I'm going to highly recommend is zero criticism of self is a huge part of self-care. Especially being in London, I'm noticing how easily I've been just criticizing, I can't do this and I can't do that and I'm not good in cooking and Puneet, can you help me with vacuuming? And, I'm not the best person for housework. I'm a delegator. I have a lot of staff in my house in India. So coming here, I noticed that I knew everything, but I've been just telling myself like I don't know. When you do it, yesterday I had to make samosas and my mother-in-law very sweetly had frozen samosas and sent with us. So I just had to put them in the oven and heat them. But I was just behaving like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this or what. It wasn't as difficult as I was making it out to be. And I realized that the whole, I get into this pattern of, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. I don't know. And I later on felt like, you know what, Puja, you know everything. You just have to, it just takes a few minutes to learn it, whatever it is you don't know. So I put my son's clothes in the washing dry, whatever, machine wash. So yeah, washing machine. And eventually I didn't know how to operate it fully. So it took me about a minute to learn it, but it took me just a minute to learn it. And everything is learnable. Like Marie Folio says, everything is figure outable. So I think to me, the number one tip I can give you today for self-care is just stop criticizing yourself for not knowing something and just go learn it. And guess what? In less than 5 minutes, you will know it. Today I'm feeling like, you know what, no longer, because everything that I wanted to do, I have been able to do. So no criticism of self from today onwards, which I've been doing a lot lately in the last 1 week for no reason. Both the kids and Puneet are like, come on, like they were like wondering, why do I criticize myself? So, something that we'd land up doing sometimes when we don't think we are as smart as we are. Sarita is asking how to overcome trust issues in the relationship and let go of the past. Sarita, forgiveness is a decision you give, okay? Trust is something that the other person has to earn. So trust is really not your problem, but his or her problem. So if anybody betrays your trust, you cannot trust them again without things changing, correct? They have to convince you that it's going to be different this time. And then they have to live up to that. Correct? So whenever it is a trust issue, it's not your issue, it's their issue. And let's say they are not willing to work hard enough, then guess what? You won't be able to trust them. It's because it's not a decision you make, it is a commitment you are asking for. And if the other person is not showing you their seriousness around the commitment, then how are you going to be able to trust them? A lot of people come to me and ask me, Puja, I want to trust this person again. And I say, you know what? Take your time. What's your hurry? It's sometimes, you know what, your body is telling you something. So keeping yourself aware. Yes, now if the other person is working really hard on building their trust back and you are the one who's not being able to forgive, then work with your forgiveness issues, okay? Because you are not able to let go of that hurt that was created. But do not be very quick in passing on trust, because trust really needs to be earned back. Just the way you won't give money to a person who's cheated you, the same way you cannot give trust to a person who's cheated you. It takes time to build that back, so take your time. Yeah? Shraddha, Ma'am, how to get back to my morning routine after 15 days long holiday and already been 12 days after that but not being able to get back? Shraddha, sit down and create a goals list for 2023. What all do you want to achieve in 2023? What's going to be your big vision? What's going to be that big, hairy, audacious goal? What do you want your relationships to look like? What do you want your health to look like? What do you want your finances to look like? What do you want your happiness to look like? If you can create different boxes and themes and create all of that, the more you have clarity on where you are going, the easier it is to set process goals. So once you have your result goals set, let's say I want to be able to do the headstand by next year, my birthday, May 7th, 2023, right? So if I've put that, what all do I need to do? Then I'll work backwards. So don't try to have a morning routine without working backwards. Another thing I do is a 40-day chalya. What is a 40-day chalya? 40 days before New Year, if you can start to live the goals you want to achieve in 2023, in those 40 days, you can refine your systems. So if I say I want to lose weight by this month, yeah, what are those things I need to do for that? I'm going to start doing it from like 20th of November itself. 20th of November to 20th of December, or from 10th of November to 20th of December, I want to run the 30-40 days of actually living the 2023 life and making my goals cleaner and clearer. Sometimes we set very big goals, and when we actually go out to do them, we realize we've taken on too much. Or sometimes it's good to build your process goals, which means that your morning routine may have 2 things, but do them every day, and then add a 3rd thing, add a 4th thing, add a 5th thing, slowly and steadily, right? So I'm going to say work backwards, have a vision, live your 2023 and 2022 like a practice. Then you know what will happen? The beauty, your resolutions will not break when on 1st of January you start to do them. You will be already pre-prepared. You would have already assessed what you overestimated, what you underestimated. You would have already gotten into a routine, and it's such a powerful way to enter New Year. I feel like too many people want to achieve that in January, and so February becomes the month of failing, because January somehow we last and then we don't last in February. But if you've decided November and December itself becomes your experimental laboratory, then January onwards you're very serious. You've already built that commitment muscle. You've already been doing it. So it's just about continuing. So then it doesn't break. Rather, then you top it with more things. So I feel like if you got your base right in November and December, January you actually then go, you know what, now that I'm able to do this already, let me top it a little bit more, let me make it a little more intense, let me add this also. And that's what really takes you towards a fabulous 2023. So all the very best, my darling. See if any of this helps you. Yeah. Okay, let me go right to the bottom and see what's happening. Dun, 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 dun. CS Nidhi, how would you react to a friend who tries to defame you? Nidhi, it all depends on how important the topic is and how important the friend is. Sometimes friends are just jealous and envious of our success, of our being, of our popularity. If I realize that it's a jealousy issue, one of the things I do is I let it go, because I believe that, you know what, over life, you're going to keep having situations where people are going to try to pull you down. And if we keep answering, sorry to I should mind my language, but you know what, if I keep on attending to the barking dogs, I can't go towards my vision. Either the rainbow is where I'm going, or I can spend time here, and I choose the rainbow, because you know what, my success in itself will speak. So Nidhi, those who've decided to misunderstand you will misunderstand you, and those who've decided to understand you need no explanation. So a lot of times when somebody's tried to defame me, I've just let it pass, and I feel like remaining elegant when someone is choosing to continuously speak against you eventually shows people that while the other person was so anti you and spoke against you and was being cheap, you remained so elegant. And I really like not spreading negativity because someone else chose to. If they are spending time in the mud, I don't want to join them there. They want to remain dirty. I want to remain clean. I'm going to stay on top. So I let it go. But again, it also depends what the topic is. Sometimes I may need to clean up. Like, for example, I'll tell you, last week my a fake account got created with my name. And so much confusion happened on Instagram because of that. And I just wanted to let it pass. You know, these things keep happening. This is the 5th time it must be happening to me in 10 years. So now I'm like not even bothered. I know these things happen and they have a shelf life. It lasts about 3-4 days of lot of rubbish that person creates and then they disappear. So it doesn't last forever. They don't have that kind of energy. Very quickly people figure out, people are very smart. Very quickly people figure out, they block, they report, they do whatever is required. But for those 48 hours, you need to do whatever you need to do because people will keep writing into you and all of that. So I so wanted to just ignore and just let it pass. But after a while, a lot of people got a lot of stress. Then that person even changed the account to an adult actress and put some rubbish pictures and all of that. So it got a little messy. We just have to deal with it, you know. These are the things. So then I put it out that, you know, guys, account is hacked, be careful, stay smart, I had to put it out. I didn't have a choice. But these are things that's going to happen to you. And you know what, there's so much fake news in the world. Nobody is verifying. We all have access to lots of people today. So where the world is going, I think we have to really grow a thick skin and know who are our people and who are not our people. And you know, explain to the ones who you feel are our people if you feel like an explanation will help. But don't take too much of all of this to heart. I think this is just God revealing to you that this friend is actually not a friend at all. And every time God reveals to you something about somebody, just know that now that you have this in your awareness, treat them to that level. You know, why you want to gussify in someone who's not even your true friend. So choosing friends over the years, first we have a lot of friends. Over time, it keeps getting revealed not everybody is our friend, and I think remaining wise around it is way more important for me. CS Nidhi, see if something in this helps you, darling. Of course, there's a lot of pain and hurt when a friend betrays you in this manner, but I think becoming wise around it, knowing that not everyone is our friend, is very important, hai na? Sejal is saying, what would you tell to a person who says that if something bad happens to you, then you will come to know and always tell some scary thing possible? Sejal, I don't want you to worry at all about that, because I want you to know nobody else has the power over your life but you. So the more positive and amazing you are, the more you will stay in that energy, and they can wish what they want. I believe that blessings and curses are boomerangs. You curse people, your life is going to start to look like that. You bless people, your life is going to start to look like that. So the people who are walking around cursing people, guess what happens? Eventually it's their life that turns into it, because who's thinking all those negative things? They. And what's the first rule of manifestation? Whatever you think will grow in your life, not in other people's life. Whatever you think will grow in your life. So whenever somebody asks me, Puja, how can I, be towards someone? I always say bless them. Because if they receive the blessing, that's great. If they don't receive the blessing, it's coming right back at you. Right? So what is your thought process? So today, release yourself from all this fear that someone else can put any sort of curse on you. You have to become powerful enough to be able to deflect it. It's like flu. When flu goes around, not everybody catches it. Not everybody catches the cold. It's only the ones who are weak in immunity. So build your personality up with a solid morning routine by becoming that person who has power in your personality. The more power in your personality you have, the lesser the chances of you catching the curse. I'm not saying that people can't curse and bless, but I think you have to have a lot more power than just your ability to say it out loud. I think curse is something where it's like how you can't put nazar on Shah Rukh Khan, right? Why? Because he's way more powerful than you. So people have to be either equally powerful or more powerful for them to even be able to curse you. So just know that in your heart, just bless them and say, God, make them happy again, because you know what? Then they'll stop going around cursing. And if ever in life you have done something wrong to someone and they are cursing you, see if you can apologize and close that debt that you have karmically with them. Yeah. Ruchi, hi Puja. Sometimes energy goes down. How to replenish to be energetic? Rest, have a routine around being restful. I think too many of us are chasing productivity, and that causes harm, because like a phone needs to be recharged, we all need recharge. So what's your recharge routine? For me, it is sometimes simply just watching YouTube videos, scrolling on Instagram. This is my time off, you know, or just sitting and looking at nature. I think learning the what works best for you as a recharge is very, very important. Yeah. All right. Charu Arora, hi ma'am, don't have a good relationship with my husband. Sometimes I feel like leaving him. What should I do? Charu, work on your identity, become financially independent, and then make the decision. Okay, all of us should be in a position of choice, and that's pretty much where I was telling you, I'm writing out my mission vision for women in India for the year 2023, and one of the biggest things that I'm tending to focus a lot on is the power of choice. We haven't been given the power to choose who we marry a lot of times, where we are, which household we live in, what our in-laws decide for our staff. There's just no choice in a woman's life. And the stronger you want to grow, the more you want to be able to choose. And one of the biggest things that I feel like in my life I wanted was to choose whether I want to be with Puneet or not. And it only came once I was fully financially independent, fully, I could live and create a life without him, that I really wanted to be with him. Up until that, I thought, I'm there because of the money, I'm there because of the lifestyle he's giving me, I'm there because of the children I have, I'm there because of society, I'm there because the in-laws got me married, I'm there because my parents got me married. There should be no other reason but pure love, correct? So get yourself in that position. Sometimes in the process of getting yourself in that position, the relationship completely changes. And if that happens, then he starts to respect and love you the way you want him to, then that's fabulous. If not, then at that point, it's a great decision to make. Weak people can't make powerful choices or decisions. We have to first become strong for us to make better decisions. Yeah? True, Sayani. Hi, Puja. Do you do your morning routine every day, like visualization, affirmation, etc., or do you take a break during holidays? Sayani, I just go with whatever I feel like doing. I definitely don't do it every single day. I do it most of the days in the month. So I would say that my morning routine shows up at least 20 out of the 30 days, but definitely not every single day. I'm consistent, but I'm not 100% consistent person. I'm an 80%. I live consistency at an 80%. So I'm very forgiving of myself. Like especially on a holiday like this, I am carrying all of my skincare. But this whole week, I have not done my skincare than normally at the level I do it. Because being in London, it's been a different routine. We are waking up at a different time. There's no sunlight till almost 7:30. I wake up at 4, so I start to wait for the sunlight. So it changes, right? So while I'm carrying a lot of stuff, I'm not following the routine. I'm carrying my gym clothes. I haven't even gone to gym even one day. So I do believe that giving yourself the permission in the beginning, when you're setting your habits, be extra strict with yourself, okay? When you are creating that connection between your brain to start to fall in love with an activity. But now I am almost 10 years of doing this almost every single day. So I allow myself days of not doing something, and I know that I'll come right back to it when I set myself up. So I'm very forgiving, very easy with myself afterwards. There is always a period where I'm very strict with myself. Like I'm taking some Ayurvedic medicines for my cold and I can tell you, literally, I haven't missed a day. The last 12 days of being in London, I have just every morning, it's complicated and it's kadwa. Okay, so morning you have to take one churran before food, then you have to take one, what do you call those things? It's really bad, like a kada. And then you have to take a kada after, and it's so bitter and it's so, but you know what, this is right now, that's of importance to me. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to take it easy. I want to make it my full on. So I'm working very hard with it. So while I may not be doing my affirmations and visualization, I'm being extra particular around my routine in that. So all the time, at all times, there should be something that you are building in your personality, and it doesn't, and there are some things that you now know have already got built in your personality, so you can start to take them easy. Right now, the things that you start to take easy that are yet not built in your personality, I'd rather you take one thing and build it than have 5 things and keep missing them. So look at what's that one thing that you can do today till New Year. Every single day, every single day, every single day, just that one activity will build you up for New Year's in a manner you can't imagine. Yeah? So all the very best. Suggest a route, Dr. Chitra Balaji, suggest a route to become a life coach, ma'am. Couldn't be an easier route. Come join me. I am having a beautiful event on the 12th and 13th of November. Get in touch with Gunjan on the number below. Give her a call. Come for my 2 days event. Come for the masterclass that's happening this Saturday if you can. And let's start your journey of becoming life coach. I have over 3,500 people that have attended that particular program till now. I hope you become one more. So anybody here wanting to become life coach, very easy. Come join my program. Let me show you the step-by-step route and methodology of how to be what I do for you. If you feel like doing for someone else, then I'd love to help you. The world is going to need a lot more life coaches. I can just tell you that by the number of DMs I get every day and my inability to now answer back. Till a year ago, if you were a part of my Instagram, you know every single question you sent me, I would answer. Today, it's a lot lesser. I try my best to answer something or the other if I can in 2 sentences, but you'll notice that it's impossible for me to keep up with all that is happening on my DMs now. Yeah? Shubha 718, Puja, how to help people who think they are victims in life? Shubha, the most important question that we have to go around taking when we are speaking to such people is how can they go back to taking 100% responsibility of your life? So that's the concept that really is key to changing someone from victim energy to victor energy. You know, I always say, who in your life is having the remote control of your life? Who can upset you most? Who can say things where it will ruin your day? Who can make you go off track from your habits? Make a list of all those people and see if you can start to take the remote control back of your life. If you can start to really tell yourself that, you know, what if I am supposed to be designing my life? What if all of these people were never meant to do anything for me but trigger me to be able to live my life my way? I always say every negative person in your life has a job, and their job is to not let you remain complacent and comfortable, to irritate and poke you long enough. If a doggy is nicely sitting under a tree and sleeping, what's the one way to wake him up and get him from there? If you keep poking him, what's going to happen? At some point he'll get up and start to go do what he's supposed to do, right? The same is with us. We are not, God wants to move us in the direction of being a Ferrari, and here we are sitting like one Maruti. He wants to make us a Ferrari. Now, how does he make us a Ferrari? He keeps on challenging us, testing us. Some of us keep evading the challenges and tests. And so what happens? He keeps throwing even larger challenges and tests. But you know, those of us who get awakened and go, you know what, I'm going to start to live a better life because these people are just not worth it. And at that point, when you go from victim to taking responsibility of your life, changes everything. So how you start to respond rather than react changes. How you start to develop your life. One of my biggest lessons in life in 2010 was this one thing, that you know what, Puja, your parents are not responsible for your life. Your husband is not responsible. Your in-laws are not responsible. The society is not responsible. You are responsible for your own life. And one of the things I wrote on my mirror was, I am responsible for my own happiness. And that changed a lot for me, because I was forever looking for other people to make me happy, till I realized it's only me who can make me happy. And once I started to live my journey in that manner, everything changed for me. Reorganize with Pankhari. Dear Puja, how to help my tribe take action and not get stuck in the daily hustle and get out of the survival mode? Reorganize with Pankhari. I don't know how much you are a part of my tribe, but if you become a part of my tribe, especially my Awakening Enlightenment courses, you can come and see how I am doing it, and then just copy the model for your programs so that you can also see how I'm helping. So one of the things I always speak about is gamification. If you can gamify how for them to start to take action, and you can start to give them points, you can start to give them stars. I have seen that works like magic, because people love competition. They love competing with other people within the tribe. So we create different clubs, different houses, star goddesses. All of these concepts exist in my program. Come join it for you to learn it, yeah? Because I can tell you, one of the things that I'm very proud of is that every single person that joins our program completes our course. So literally we have 100% rate of completion, which is very rare in the teaching model or in the education model, because most people can drop out after joining your program, even if they've paid you lakhs, because I've seen that money has nothing to do with motivation. A lot of people have a lot of money, doesn't mean that they will be motivated. So the systems that you create in your course for them to go on that journey, you know how video games are addictive, you know why? Because at every level you win something, you become something. By joining 5 levels, you become that, you become that. The more you can gamify the process, the more you'll see your tribe taking action and remaining motivated. Okay, let me go right to the bottom. Of course, let me read out all of the ladies last week who had put out, men and women. 1 second. All right. So the one thing I'd love for you to do this week is interact with me a lot more. You know, because of the whole last week's Instagram mess, I feel like the energy got a little disturbed. So I'm going to request all of you this whole week, as I put out posts, see if for me you can come in and comment under every post, as well as if this week you can make that extra effort of just sharing my picture on your stories. If you have the time to put the takeaways, put the takeaways. If you don't have the time, just share this and go watch Puja's Insta Live on her Instagram. I don't even need you to share the takeaways, just put this. And remember, now next week is when we are going to meet. So we are going to put out the list this week. I'm coming back to India. So let's put the date as 31st October. Okay. So 31st October, I am going to see all of you. So this is the last week before the Insta Live and I'm going to meet you. So for all of you who've been winners all this while, please know we are going to reach out to you. And Monday the 31st, I think it's a Monday, right? The 31st of October, I'm landing on the 30th. On 31st, I want to keep this timing. We will inform you here, and we will inform you personally, not to worry. Yeah. So everybody, can you make that effort this week? Can you put I commit in the chat box if you are willing to? The whole week, comment on every post of mine for this week, as well as share stories. Yes. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Sometimes you should do things back for me, hai na? Thank you. Love you all. I love my Insta fam, by the way. Participants of the week: Shri Mook 2007, Vivek Vasanta, E Cafe, Aditi Ashish Kumar, Sneha, SJSG Snakeated, Life Coach Kaveri, Shubham Tejal, Doshi, Mona, Mika's Bakes, Richa Bhagat, Innovated Tarot Trupti, Nature is the Ultimate Power, Namrata Vision, Dr. Alifia Ladakwala, Gauri, Design Priyanka, Shamanjit K, Mindset Emotional NLP, Ruchi Chauhan, Nisa QR, Sakina Sheikh, Anita Gupta, Life Coach Upasna Gautam, Nancy Vadwa, Nisha Rathore, Image by Design Consultancy, Tango Manisha, Anila Setia, Sparkling Soul Heals, Dr. Aman Patiala, Ujjwala Madhav 15, Raksh 414, Gargi Arya. Super, all 31 of you, super congratulations in the week of Diwali and Bhai Dooj and all of this. You were able to do this. Hats off. This is next level dedication. Winners of the week are Spin Wheel with Tisha, Life Coach _SST, and Sakshi Mittal Negi. Super congratulations to all 3 of you this week for being the winners of the book Unlocking the Golden Cage. Now all I need you to do is take a picture, share it, and please ask people to come and watch this Insta live or start to follow me if you can in your stories, as well as I would love for you to comment on every post of mine this whole week. Let's be consistent. If those of you who are interested in building your consistency, let me tell you, there's a whole science behind what I'm asking you to type and put down in every post. It's going to definitely start to develop your personality. Do not think you're only doing this for me. Start to see in a week, do you feel the change and the difference in your personality just by affirming the things I'm asking you to? Yes? All right, and not to worry, we will send out the list. We will put out the list on Instagram of the winners of the people who are going to be joining me on 31st October for our own InstaFam connection. All right, picture time. Come on, everyone. What pose do you want? Happy Diwali pose will do. What else? I don't know what else to do. You tell me. Okay. Super, looking forward to building, you know what, each one of you here, if you are coming in every week and giving me this fabulous time of yours, let's truly build a relationship and make 2023 super special. I really want, for those of you who are still feeling like there's a lot of work to be done on yourself, I hope you land up joining some program of mine before the end of this year, so that you can start to work on yourself. Look out for the Awakening program, which is going to happen in the second week of December. It's not going to cost you much. We have reduced the price tremendously, but be in touch with us. That's a program you don't want to miss. It's a perfect set for you to go into New Year's in a fabulous manner. Okay, so look out for Awakening. Set your intention to do Awakening with me. That's one thing I highly recommend. And please save this post. Of course I will do that. The thumbs up pose. Okay, yeah. Fabulous. And another thing that I'd love for you to do is start to set your personality up for 2023. Read better books, attend such things, keep on doing things that grow you. Because you know what, in a world where people will tell you none of this matters, what really matters is what you have within. The real truth is what you put in becomes you. So reading better books, going for such lives, attending courses, watching things on YouTube every day. If you can just spend 30 minutes building your personality, by the time 2023 comes, you will be at a next level. And let's make 2023 really the most amazing year, where, you know what, if you are a woman who's suffering, let's make you better. And if you are a woman who's already empowered, let's help you become empowered enough that you can start to help other women now. One of the things we as women are going to need in 2023 is more role models. How many role models do we have? We don't have enough, especially in India. Gin chun ke teen naam: Sudha Murthy, Indra Nui, Twinkle Khanna, Sushmita Sen, Priyanka Chopra. वही gin chun ke 5-6 naam aate hain. Where are the other women? Let's really make role models out of ourselves, so that people who interact with us start to go, I want to be like her. I want to be like her. Hai na? Let's all, Sister Shivani, of course. I mean, there's so many, but they're still very limited. There are many in terms of, maybe in the first 10 there are many, but then there is nobody. So where are the normal, regular women who can inspire other people? You have to now choose to become one. Yes? Of course, me. That's why you're here now. Okay. Loads of love, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Remember, 31st October is going to be our day of meeting. Sometime in the second half of the day, I'm going to set it up. Yes? Fabulous. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Ciao. Oh, it's exactly 1 p.m. I'm going to run before my children wake up, and I better go wake them up. And today is going to be a fabulous day. Spend another day with them. So I'm very excited. Bye.